Okay, example one, this is on page 341 of your book if you want to go ahead and follow the book or read it on your own. So it says evaluate an algebraic expression. Uh, One thing I want you to note is the word value and the word evaluate. When you evaluate an algebraic expression, right? So an algebraic expression, right, is just an expression that has variables and it also has numbers, right, with certain operations like addition, multiplication, or repeated multiplication, which just that's what that means, x minus 4 multiplied 3 times. So evaluate means you're going to find an actual number. So our answer is going to be a number. And we know it's going to be a number because, I mean, they give us a specific value. And we're also going to use the order of operations in order to finish this problem. Okay, so x is equal to 6, so that just means I'm going to substitute 6 for x. So we have 7 plus 5 times, and in honor of Valentine's Day, since it's coming up, or Valentine's Day weekend, I'll use pink. So 6 minus 4 cubed. So all I did was substitute the value 6 for x. Okay, now I'm going to use the order of operations. I only have numbers. And so the order of operations, right, I'm looking on page 340. Number 1 is perform operations within the innermost parentheses and then work outwards. So the innermost parentheses means, well, what's inside the parentheses? Well, this expression. So I leave everything else, okay, and 6 minus 4 is obviously 2, and then we're going to take that to the third power. Now, I encourage you to rewrite everything you don't evaluate, or you don't, evaluate or simplify. I didn't use a 7 or the 5, so rewrite it. Students that don't rewrite this end up making a mistake 99% of the time. So please write your every step, especially the numbers that you don't use. Okay, so that was the first part, and the second part is evaluate all exponential expressions. Well, exponential expressions, let's see, maybe it's a color code here. Let's stick with purple. Well, that's an exponential expression right there, right? That really means 2 times 2 times 2. Okay, so I haven't used the 7. I haven't used the 5. Okay, times, well, 2 cubed is 8. Okay, so that's step 2. And one thing you'll notice, I remember the order of operations. So a nice little acronym is PEMDAS, or please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. I like this, but at the same time I don't, because technically it's wrong. So parentheses means evaluate, right? Do anything inside the parentheses. Okay, we did check. So check. Exponents, right? Okay, check. The next one is, yes, it is multiplication. And then we have division, but that says that multiplication has to be performed first before division. That's not necessarily true. You have to perform the multiplication and division as they occur, working from left to right. Now, in this case, we have no division, but we'll do it in the next example. But again, I mean, this can be technically D, M, or this could be S, A, and there's other combinations. Okay, but back to this specific problem, we have 2 operations. We have an addition and we have multiplication right there, right? Those are 2 operations, and the order of operations obviously says do multiplication before addition. So in this case, I'm not going to add 7 plus 5. It's going to be 7 plus, and then I perform this operation first. 5 times 8, which is 40. And then eventually you just add these, right? I mean, you do addition at the end, which is just 47. Okay, so that is I evaluated this expression at x equals 6, and I obtained 47. Okay, let's do the next example. example 2, and my algebraic expression is x squared plus 5x minus 3, and then they give us that x is equal to negative 6. Okay, so I know I'm going to substitute that value for my x, my variable x. Okay, so negative 6, okay, squared, you need to write the parentheses, plus 5 times negative 6 minus 3. Okay, again, these parentheses are important. Okay, so maybe note negative 6 squared, okay, is not the same thing as negative 6 squared. Okay, when you evaluate this, you're going to get 36. When you evaluate this, you're going to get negative 36. Okay, obviously their numbers are different, so that's why these expressions are different. Okay, so using the order of operations, now here you want to perform anything within the innermost parentheses. Now, so the p part, everything inside the parentheses, well, the only thing inside the parentheses is negative 6. So technically there's nothing to do with p because it's already negative 6. So the next step is perform exponential expressions. So we have one right here. And so this guy, which I already wrote down, but I'll go ahead and write it out, that really means negative 6 times negative 6, which is 36. Okay, and I have not done anything to this part, so I'm just going to leave it. Okay, so again, I'm following the order of operations, so parentheses, exponents, and now the next part is so I'm reading again on page 340, perform multiplication and divisions as they occur working from left to right. So here, what are the operations? The operations are addition, multiplication, and subtraction. So I'm going to do this one because that's multiplication. So 36 I leave alone. Positive 5 times negative 6 is minus 30. And then my last two operations are just subtraction and subtraction. And so you can just, work these out from left to right, that's fine. So that 36 minus 30 is 6, and then we subtract 3, and so we're left with 3. Okay, so the next example is, and I'm just noticing that I don't think they have division in example 3, which is okay. It's still a good example because it has two variables. So we have negative 2x squared plus 5xy minus y cubed. Okay, so this is our algebraic expression, and they want us to substitute 4 for x and negative 2 for y. Okay, so here are our values. And so let's go ahead and do that. Negative 2 times 4 squared plus 5 times x times y. Well, our x is 4, our y is negative 2, minus y cubed. Okay, so something cubed. Y is negative 2. So here, right, my x is pink and my y is purple. Right, so there's my y and there's my x. Okay, so let's perform the order of operations. So anything I can do within the parentheses. No, it's just 4, right? It doesn't say 4 minus 3 or 4 minus 1. So now we can perform the exponents. And so there are we can evaluate these exponential expressions right here and right here. So I'm going to write everything that I don't use. So I haven't used that negative 2. Well, 4 times 4 is 4 squared, right? So that's 16. And then I'm not going to do anything to this guy just yet. And then that subtraction sign, right, is still there. And then negative 2 cubed. Well, negative 2 cubed is going to be negative 8. Okay, and how do I know that? Because negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 equals negative, that's a negative 8. Okay, so no more exponential expressions. So we can multiply a couple of things here, since our next step is perform multiplication and division. There's no division, so multiplication. So if we double 16, we get 32. Right, again, so multiplication, parentheses, multiplication, multiplication. So this is just 20 times negative 2, so that's negative 40. And this is really multiplication right here. Negative times negative is positive, so that's plus 8. And again, we can just perform these guys right from left to right. Right, that really means you're adding two negatives. So negative 32 plus negative 40 is negative 72. And then if we add 8, right, if you owe $72, right, and you pay $8, what's your balance? Well, you're still going to owe $64. Okay, so this is example 1, 2, and 3 on page 341 of your book. And again, please ask me questions if you don't understand. This is going to be crucial in as we go on in 6.2, 6.3, and so forth.